All right, happy Monday. I still see people jumping on, and that's awesome. Like I said, if you guys y'all have chats, remind them because I don't know. I didn't get on live, but I watched the group two Zoom today while I was working. It was so good, and it just made me even more excited because I mean, obviously, we saw Jamie on that, and she got to share a little tidbit, but there was like 40 people talking, and so it was very short. And I know Jamie and I texted back and forth a little bit, and she has so many good things to say. So when the first time she texted me or we were texting, I was like, okay, where you're coming on Monday. Like I had something different planned. I don't even remember what it was, but I was like, we got to get Jamie on. We got to hear all this because I know she soaked up so much goodness. And so I have like a couple questions, but in my mind they're pretty basic. So I'm thinking you're probably going to hit them, but they're jotted down on the off chance if you don't, then I will ask them. I got my notebook like I told y'all to have. So I'm going to turn it over to Jamie and let her just talk about her amazing once in a lifetime experience this weekend.
Perfect. So, hey guys, happy Monday. I hope y'all's day has been awesome. I hope that y'all are jumping in full force with this $100 additional bonus situation that they've got going on. I know that I am super freaking excited for this. I'm sure that y'all heard it last night and on the family call. That's actually going to be the first thing that I talk about. They are trialing this, you guys, and they actually have other incentive type situations like these extra $100 weekly bonuses for people that are mass enrolling customers or quickly enrolling customers. So if you missed it, if you enroll 5 customers between Saturday at midnight, I guess that would have been Friday night, Saturday morning, whatever, through Friday night at 11:59. If you enroll 5 customers, you're going to earn an additional $100 cash bonus. It's paid out like a fast start, and it is a weekly thing. So, and then you'll have another opportunity to earn it next week too. So, what I thought was so cool is they kind of went into depth when they were talking about it a little bit when we were we were at corporate and we were the 5th floor is called Whole Nother Level, and that's where we had like a big like phones off closed session that we kind of found out about things before they rolled out to y'all. And so they were talking about our income disclosure, and how every rank like that Ruby, they kept talking about rubies. You guys, if you are a Ruby or if you are pushing for Ruby, drop a 1 in the chat. Or if you joined for Ruby Money, meaning $200 to $500 a month, drop a 2 in the chat. Okay, because most people join for that $200 to $500 range, right? And then they catch the vision, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can make $1 million." But what they want to do is they want to make our income disclosure, the number for the average Ruby, they want it to come up. They want our Rubies making $700 a month. They want our Rubies making $800, $900 a month, because that is really good money. That is life-changing money, and that rank is so attainable, right? So layering on, as a company, we have a 9-to-1 customer to distributor ratio, right? So for every 1 distributor we have 9 customers. So we are really good at enrolling customers, and so they wanted to incentivize us, and they wanted to just reward our hard work for those people that are out there and they're signing customers, and they're helping people get healthier, right? So I thought that was so interesting and so cool. So they are trialing this. And I want to talk to 2 different people. And sorry, I just kind of hopped in on that because I just love this promotion so much. If you love the extra $100 thing every week, drop a 3 in the chat because I'm like obsessed with it. I dropped some numbers on my page, and Stormy may have shared them on Live Life Legendary. If not, I can share them over. But it basically like layered this little piece, the bonus thing, onto the already like the compensation plan or whatever. And it showed how much money you could make. And I don't have the numbers memorized, but I was like, dang, that's a lot of money just in the next 2 weeks while we're trialing this thing. So I thought that was so cool. But I want to talk to 2 different people because truly, if you are a new distributor coming into the business and this is like your first 2 weeks, one, you're getting in on an incredible deal. It's $20 to sign up right now. And so just with the coffee samples alone, you are in the green. You're operating your business in the green. You can sell one and you have already made your money back, right? And everything else from here on out is profit. So that is already really, really cool. But then they are giving you this extra $100 that is paid out so fast. I remember I started at the end of the month, so I only had to wait a couple of weeks for my first paycheck. But sometimes those first paychecks aren't very much, right? You've maybe got a couple of loyal customers and you might have earned your shopping spree, which is so fun to get to order products for yourself. But that extra $100 cash is awesome. Cash talks. $100 is a big stinking deal. Like that's a whole grocery bill for people. You can fill up cars, you can buy diapers, whatever you need to do. Like if you had an extra $100 deposited in your account on Thursday, what are you going to spend it on? I know for me, summer's coming up. I'm paying for camps and stuff for my kids. So that's what my $100 are going to be going towards. You know what I mean? So just really having that tool to incentivize because people need money in their pockets right now. I think they also recognize that as an industry, some other companies pay weekly, right? And not just monthly for commissions. And so they're trying to give us another opportunity to have weekly money coming in on top of the fast start thing. So I thought that was so cool. So for new distributors, I'm like, now is the stinking time to sign up. Like, and if you are having potential distributor conversations right now, that is something that you need to be driving home. Then next, I want to talk to our vets, our people that have been on here or that have been with us for 3 months, 6 months, 5 years, whatever. You guys, we have to lead this thing from the front. They are trialing it. I say trialing it. And I know Cami said trialing it, and I know that Mark and Mike said trialing it. We are testing this thing. If we run with it, it is going to become a part of our compensation plan. Simple as that. And they have other ones that they are going to trial also. If we don't take advantage of this, and if we don't lead the charge as people that have been here, that if the leaders don't get on board first, then how do we expect our team to follow us is basically what I'm trying to say. If we're earning our $100 every week, then our new distributors are going to see that it is possible for them to earn their $100 every week. If you're a Ruby and you're adding an extra $400 by signing 20 customers a month, that's insane. That is doubling your paycheck. That is incredibly insane. So I just wrote leaders need to be on board first. We need to lead the charge. It's really time to rally as they start rolling these out. And this is the kind of fun stuff that is going to take us through the summer and right into like a really incredible fall. So I know that I didn't plan on jumping right into the $100 thing, but it was such a big deal. And I think that sometimes we look at these little promotional things like, oh, it's just like, oh, it's an extra opportunity. But like, if we truly take advantage of this, they're going to layer that onto our compensation plan. And $400 a week or $100 a week, that's $5,200 extra dollars a year. If you take advantage of that, that is amazing. So before I hop on to the next thing, do we have any questions about that? Stormy, you want to add anything to that?
No, I don't think so. I think you explained it, I mean, perfectly. And you guys, if you get 3, you get $20. And then
Yes.
so you're still getting something, even if you don't get all of them. Kind of like when they changed that fast start, I thought that was genius because, like how many times will we have somebody that'll get 4 or 5 and, you're like, oh, I get like you didn't get any fast start bonus on them. Or
Yep.
yeah, I was like cab. No, I'm getting confused. But yeah. And so I think that that's a really smart part of this plan too, is you're still getting something. You're not like you're on top of your residuals. There's still an extra incentive.
Yes, and that kind of leads me into the next thing. This company wants us to win, you guys. Like, I'm not sure if you were on the thing last night when Alyssa talked about Lauren. She was with Lauren is she just went triple last month. She is a triple under Alyssa Bowman. She earned it. She was at the ranch with us. But something that she said when we were like having dinner before everything started the first night was like her CEO at her past company, she couldn't tell you a thing about him. Like she probably didn't even know his first name. Like he dang sure didn't know hers. This company is so faith-based and family-based that like Mark and Cindy both want to know your name. They want to they want to hear about your kids' stuff. Like when you attend events and you go to things, they truly want to hear your story. They want to know how long you and your husband have been married. They want to know where you live at and what made you say yes to It Works and like all of it. They care so, so much. And so when they are making decisions like this and when they roll out incentives, like I always tell my team, I'm like, this company has our back. But just hearing like the numbers behind it and like the marketing strategy and all of that kind of fun stuff, it's like, man, they really do. Like they are studying what we're good at, you guys. We are good at enrolling customers. And so they're going to incentivize that. They just want us to win. And they are constantly just trying to think of new ways to help us win. And so I thought that was one of my aha moments. Like I have always known and I've always preached like this company has our back. This company, like my flag is planted because this company is so good and they truly care about us. But like experiencing it firsthand, that's not something that I can come back and explain how or whatever. It's just a feeling. Like I walked into their house and I said it last night too. I opened their fridge. He was like, yeah, if you want something out of the fridge, you just grab whatever you want. And I overheard somebody asking for deodorant. And Cindy was like, well, let me see if I've got an extra one. Like family. I mean, she probably would have grabbed like a paper towel, wiped her deodorant off and let the girl use it. Like they just truly, they are so humble. And when they say family and they call it a family call and stuff like that, we are family to them. Every single distributor matters so stinking much. Mark and Cindy and Cami and Mike and Tiff, they took time to sit and talk with every single person, put their arm around your neck. And if you go to the ranch or if you go to the island or if you meet them at an event, they're going to do the same thing to you. And it is so freaking genuine that you just can't even really understand. So something that they were talking about is kind of like the cycle when you first join. And I didn't like y'all, I was so in the moment. I took like this many notes and like half a page of notes. And then this is just other stuff that I was jotting down about things that I wanted to do for my team that were coming to my brain. But they were talking about when you come into this business, we've all heard of like ignorance on fire, right? So when you first start, you are completely ignorant, and that's not a derogatory thing. You just don't know what you don't know, right? And you just go and you're on fire and you're excited. And so they said you are unconsciously incompetent and you're just doing it and you're going through the motions and you're trusting your upline, and they say post at 5 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. or whatever. And so you're doing it because you don't understand the algorithm, but they do. And so you're running with that ignorance on fire for a whole hot second. And then you become aware of what you have, right? And so you're like, oh man, I have this thing. And then that's when the second guessing starts. And that's when people do like the slow fade and things like that. And so they were talking to us as top leaders and people that are stepping up in their business or whatever. And they were saying, that's when you have to plug into your people. That's when you have to wrap your arm around them and say, you're family and you're coming with me. I know that you finally get what you have your hands on, but it's still time to go. That excitement and that like blissful ignorance that you had a week ago before you realized what you had your hands on, we're still going to do that. And now that you are second guessing yourself, I'm still here. And so that is when that it's like your biggest opportunity as a leader is in that moment where you can coach people through that and you can help people get through that part where they feel like this thing is really, really awesome and I don't want to mess it up. Right. So you have this opportunity to coach people through that. So if you have people on your team, even if it's one person, even if it is one person, it is your job to put your arm around them and say, we're doing this together. I understand that we may not have the answers, but somebody on our team does. Somebody on our team is going to love on us and is going to give us the answer. We have so many resources and they can be completely overwhelming. I fully I fully agree and understand that all of the resources can be completely overwhelming, especially in that state where you're like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but also it's kind of intimidating. These conversations scare me because I don't fully understand the products or the compensation plan or whatever. And so they just said, like, as leaders and as people, you want to just really rally behind your people and show up for them and move them through that stage to the part where you are consciously competent. You know what you're doing and you are signing customers and you are helping new distributors. Your goal in this business is to move through those 3 phases, and everybody goes through them. They were like, there are probably some of y'all that are sitting in here that are still running on freaking ignorance on fire. Like, it happens. People go fast and people just get excited and just keep on going and just keep on plugging in. And they were like, it's so exciting to watch people. And they were like, we want y'all to watch for those phases, because as people do the slow fade, and do y'all know what I mean when I say that? Because people don't normally just text you and be like, I'm out, I'm done with this. They just kind of stop showing up to stuff and they just kind of fade into the background, right? It's never like an overt, I quit, I'm done. So they were like, that is your chance. Instead of shying away when that happens and second guessing yourself as a leader, that's when you lean in and you say, I got you. Let's do this together. So that was really cool. And it was so funny because as they were telling us these things, it was like they were exemplifying them through everything that they were doing at corporate for us or at the ranch for us. They weren't just telling us, they were showing us with their hospitality and the way that they think about everything. So that was something that I thought was really cool. And as I started thinking about even people's journeys that were really fast or just different people on my team, I'm like, man, they really did move through those 3 phases. Like, you kind of just go from that like blissful ignorance to like, oh my God, this is good. And I probably should have more answers. And what am I going to do to, okay, I know what I'm doing and I can find my own groove. So I loved that. Storm, you got anything?
No, I love that you said that they were kind of doing that, because I was actually thinking that they do that. Like, that's how corporate is to us. They're always speaking to like so many of us that are in different seasons and like catering to us with promotions and the family call, and like just Cami when she's on the diamond and above, Cami when she's on VIP. Like, they're just, I mean, the fact when you said that, like in my head, I was thinking like it's exactly what corporate does to us. They don't expect us to be on fire on our A game all the time. Like, they know that life is going to happen. It was like, I don't remember who was saying on that Zoom last night, like they recognize we're working hard and we're working through stuff that isn't always easy. So yeah, I like that you said that. That's all.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was more like a feeling, like it just solidified everything. Like, it's funny because you guys, if you've been with the company for, and I apologize if your brand's thinking new, you probably haven't caught the vision yet, and that's okay, because you will stick around long enough and you will. But if you've been here long enough, you believe certain things about this company. You believe that the Pentecosts are good people. You believe that our products are quality. You believe that the company has our best intentions when they make decisions. And just going there and experiencing it firsthand. I know not everybody in the world will get to experience that, but I can tell you personally, all of those beliefs that you like hope are true, they are. Like, and that was so cool to experience. Another cool thing that I was so nervous, you guys, like, and again, I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit. But I went as Ashley's +1. Ashley Sinclair is like the Ashley Sinclair. She's a big deal. It works wide. Like, everybody knows who the Ashley Sinclair is. And I was her +1. So I was feeling about this big already. And like there Cheyenne Knox and Rachel Jones, and there were some Katie Bevington and Rhonda Hartman, and there were some huge names that were there with us. The Duns were freaking there with us. And Joel went live on our team page, and Steph hugged my neck and pulled me to the side and carried my drink for me because I dropped my fork and I had to go back and get one. And like, they're real freaking people, and they're really genuine. And all of the hype is, I love it when good people are celebrated, and knowing that they're like big names in our industry or for our company. We're so well represented, you guys, because they are such good people. They were so kind and so inviting. I never felt like I was anybody's plus one. In fact, there were multiple times that people were like, if you are here, do not second guess your place here, whether you earned it yourself or whether you earned it as a plus one. You earned your spot here. You are one of 60 out of over 100,000. And for me, like, I wanted to earn it myself, right? Like I'm way red. And the fact that I didn't earn it myself, like, ate at me a little bit. But hearing them say that over and over, it was like, I did earn my spot. I showed up big in a way that was recognized by somebody that got to bring a plus one. Like, and so that was really cool. And just knowing and getting to experience how genuine the people that we look up to, because I know that I am like a freaking graduate of Cheyenne Knox YouTube University, and I stalk Rachel Jones and, you know, like, and the Dun TV or whatever it's called, their YouTube channel. Like, I watch these people all the time, and I take business advice from them every single day, and knowing that they are just good people and go through the same exact things that we do was really, really refreshing. Let me look at my notes because I had something else that was worth repeating that I said last night. Where is it? Okay, so my aha moment, probably the biggest one that I had all weekend, and it is what I talked about last night, but like I said, it's worth repeating. We were all sitting, there were 60 of us. We were sitting in their living room on their couches. And after I opened their fridge and like helped myself to whatever the heck I wanted, eating a bag of Cheetos, like sitting in their pool, like, first, that mind blown. But we were all sitting around in their living room just talking, and everybody was kind of telling some things that they had learned, or their aha moment, or like their story, or whatever. And every single person that talked was so completely different. Not one person looked the same, not one person spoke the same, not one person brought the exact same gifts to the table. Everybody's story was so incredibly different. And it just, we always say, like, there is no mold. Like, anybody can be successful at this business. And I can't remember who said it, but I want to say it was Mark, but it could have been Mike. Somebody said, until they come up with a measurement to measure someone's heart, there is no mold. And that like stuck out to me so much, because how often do we judge a book by its cover? How often do we look at someone's social media and say, oh, they only have 200 friends, I don't know if they'll be good at this business, or whatever. I'm guilty of that, y'all. I try and do better because I do know better. But also, like, it's anybody. How can I measure any person's heart? I don't know them. They don't know me. What happens if somebody's why changes? And just sitting there hearing so many different stories and so many different things, like, how could I have ever known what any of their hearts looked like? I couldn't. And so that was such like a refreshing thing, because anybody could be at the ranch. Anybody can earn the island. Anybody can be a black diamond in this business. Like, if you have the grit and you have the heart, you can freaking do it. I would guess that any of us, yeah, exactly, for sure. Any of our social media is probably not 100% before we join this business. It's a learning thing. You just got to have heart to show up, and you got to have grit to not quit, right? So that was something that was so cool. And then something that Mark said, Hi, sweet baby. Give me just a few minutes, okay? Can you ask daddy? Okay, you're gonna have to give me a few minutes, okay? Because mommy's hosting this one. You wanna say hi? We're recording. Okay, give me a few minutes. Um, it's time for me to brush her hair, y'all. Um, something that Mark said was like he basically was alluding to the fact like we didn't plan for this. I was a math teacher. Like we didn't plan to be this successful and to have a ranch and an island and all of that. He was like, but we always just were thinking outside the box. And this business is very outside the box, you guys. If you feel like you're doing something different, or if you feel like people look at you because your profession is different, it is. This business is different. Yes, network marketing is the wave of the future. Yes, it is becoming increasingly more popular because it is freaking genius. Yes, but as a whole, this business is outside the box. And what he said was, we always did things outside the box so that we could live and love differently than other people. Because most of everybody doesn't live and love the way that they want to, right? They want an island. They want to be able to give $1 million to the whatever foundation. They want to be able to donate buildings. They want to give fresh water to whoever they want to in whatever foreign country they want to. Like they chose to do something outside the box so that they could live and love outside the box, because most people can't love or live at the caliber that they can because they are not willing to get uncomfortable and to dive into an industry that is uncomfortable. So if you are feeling uncomfortable, know that you are in good company and that it takes being uncomfortable to get to the really, really good stuff. And that was so good. That was the other note. We were sitting there talking and nobody had their phones out, like not a person in the room. People were crying, telling their stories, and we were talking about different things. And here I am, I'm like secretly typing these notes in my phone because I was like, that was so good. Like how can you expect to live and love differently if you won't get out of your box, y'all? It's so simple. So I'm going to pause right there. Storm, what questions do you got for me?
Well, so I mean, I wanted the first question was like, what was your favorite part of the weekend? You know, like, was it sitting at corporate? Was it on a swamp buggy? Was it sitting in the living room? Was it just eating around the table with these, you know, women and men that you had just met? Like, your favorite part?
My favorite part was when I got probably my most memorable part. Here, hand me that, sweet girl, the spray. My most memorable part and probably my favorite part was when I got. Might not want to put a lock. I already put it. Okay. Was when I got to. If you ever think you're too busy for this business, or if you have kids are not an excuse. You can brush hair while you host a Zoom. It's totally fine. You can do it, right? If I can do it, y'all can do it. My favorite part, y'all, Cami, I have had the privilege to get to know Cami a little bit on a personal level. And when I got to the ranch, we pulled up to the gates, which are freaking so cool. And we stopped there and we hopped off the big charter bus that they had us on. And they had professional photographers and we all got our picture taken right there. But Cami was running late. I was like, soul sister, I'm late to everything. So she pulled up while we were taking pictures and she hopped out of her Suburban or Yukon or whatever she had and came over and gave a few people hugs, like immediately gave me a huge hug. And I was like, the freaking Cami Pentecost is giving me a hug. Like I'm her friend and her sister and like whatever. And I thought that was like so cool. And then she had him open the gate. She went up ahead while we finished taking pictures and all that stuff. Then we got up to the house and we all unloaded and we were walking up like this grand driveway. It was like this beautiful brick driveway up to this gigantic ranch. And they were all standing up there, Mike and Mark and Cindy. I know, baby, I'm sorry. And Cami, can you look up for me? They were all standing up there. And again, Cami like gave a bunch of people hugs. Ashley introduced me to Mark, which was so freaking awesome. And he was like, oh, you're Ashley's new triple. He knew me. He knew who I was. Little old me. He knew who I was. there were so many other big name people there, and he knew who I was. That made me feel really cool. And then Cami walked over and gave me a big hug and put her arm around my neck and was like, I am so glad you are here, friend. I am so excited to experience this weekend with you. And like, let me show you around the house. And we walked in the house with her arm around my neck. I was like, that is that was so special to me, because here I am feeling like a small duck in a big pond, and she is going out of her way to make me feel important and loved and accepted, like I should be there and all of that stuff. So that was probably my favorite part, just because it was super fun, and just exciting. I'm a red, and I live for recognition and a competition. And so that just filled my cup like on a whole nother level. Like it was so, and that may sound cheesy to other people, but like that was so cool to me. I was like, "Oh, she really just made my day. Like, she has no idea that hug and that let's go, let me show you around the house, just made my whole freaking weekend." So that was probably my favorite part. I'm trying to think what else. Just being at corporate, I know you're fixing to unmute and ask another question. Just being at corporate though, y'all, watching, they had a lot of like the nostalgia stuff there. They had all of the original products. They had all of that stuff. And just to like look at all the pictures of where they come from, and like the pictures of the original office buildings, and like him and Cindy when they were super young, and Pam when she was super young and they were first getting started. Like, we come from humble beginnings, and I say we because we are a family and we are a part of this company, and they don't take that lightly. They celebrate their past, and they celebrate the fact that we have worked really freaking hard for the past 20 years to get to where we've gotten, and they wear it with a badge of honor. And so just being at corporate and seeing how genuinely happy all of the staff was there, y'all, that so many smiles. Like, I worked in corporate America for a really long time, and there is a very corporate side to our company that we don't have to experience. We get to be the fun social media side, right? We just get to go out and do the marketing, but there's a whole lot of brain work and a whole lot of corporate that goes into making everything happen for us. There is a team of people that, one, work their butts off to make the weekend successful for us, but two, like, the fact that they were all so happy and genuinely wanted to be there, like, just further solidified again, like, these people are so kind and humble, and they take care of the people that they love, and they take care of their family. And so that was really cool. Like, Mark's personal assistant, her name's Izzy, she's been with him for 10 years, and the girl did not have a smile on her face. What CEO's personal assistant doesn't not have a smile on her face? I've known a lot of personal assistants for CEOs, and none of them smiled that much, right? So that was really cool. Go ahead, Storm. It looked like you had a question.
Oh no, I thought you were done. I saw somebody shared on the stories all the products, and then like today or yesterday on my time hop, like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, it came up, and it was like me holding one of our bars that we used to have. And I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot we even had those things. Like, anyway, and it was funny because I was looking at all those, like, and then all I was thinking was, whoever story it was on, I was like, I really would do anything for that can of energy in there, like.
I've got some in my fridge. I do. I'm not even kidding. My mom found a case.
It's definitely expired.
It's definitely expired, and I definitely don't care. It's so good.
I know, I was like seeing it. I was like, God, I would kill for that energy drink right now. Like, and then, yeah, when you said the humble beginnings too, I don't remember when, where, whatever, but I remember them talking about like when they started the company, the orders were in filing cabinets, and like you would have to go pick up your people's orders and then bring it to them. Like, can y'all even fathom? Like, I mean, it wouldn't work now, right? Like, what are you going to do? Like, I have like a customer, what am I going to drive to Canada? I mean, she might appreciate that. She could get Skinny Brew, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't even work now, but like, that's where it came from. Is like, they used to pick up their orders in the filing cabinet. Like, that's insane to me.
And I think that's why they like focus so much on like like look, I don't want to say look down, but like I'm a triple. I'm the top of my organization, right? So I guess looking back, looking at the doubles, looking at the diamonds, looking at the rubies, looking at the emerald, like, and seeing who I can bring back with, or who I can bring up with me, who wants to go with me. And so they talked a lot about that and a lot about partnering with your people. And I think it's because they started from nothing, you guys, and he joined for Ruby money. Like, and so it's like that, like dollar amount or that rank or whatever is so important to him because it's such an impactful, like, place, right? It's such an impactful, like $200 to $500 is life changing for like 99% of Americans. And that's what he joined for. So that's what he wants to, like, we just want to pop rubies. We just want to help people and make a difference in as many people's lives as we possibly can. So I thought that was really, really good. There was something else that I was going to say. Does anybody have any questions while I try and remember what I was going to say?
Well, I have two more questions.
Okay.
The first one is, so what we're like, I'm sure that this conversation was had, if I was guessing, because I mean, I would say that most people have been in the company a while that were there, or, maybe at least a couple of years. What were things you heard from those people on how they stay motivated and like how they keep going? Because I mean, like Joel and Steph could stop tomorrow and they would be fine, y'all, like, so what keeps them going?
Man, just it's so funny because we keep talking about how Mark wants to just help people. That is, it's not about them anymore. And that was something that I had some conversations with some other leaders going into this month, because April, if we're being honest, wasn't a great month. And so I was like, what am I going to do differently in May? I want to make an impact in people's lives. I want to help rise up other people. And so the focus on me, if you're on my team, you know that we are focusing on that Ruby push this month. We're focusing on bringing in a boatload of new distributors and helping them get their businesses started. And so hearing that, you're right, we did talk a lot about that. We also talked a lot about launching newbies and what is working for people. By the way, launching newbies, the answer is stay in their inbox. It's your responsibility, not theirs. They're going to get scared and shy away immediately. So as their sponsor, get in their inbox. That's the number one tip for launching your newbies. And then what is working for people right now? Host to post. And that should not be a shock to you guys either, right? Host to post is what every single person, I'm still in the chat with them today, and we were talking about our points for the island, and Jennifer Weatherly has like 234 points or something, and we're like, we're going to need a private Zoom on what you're doing. She's like, I'm literally just host to posting. She's signed 70 customers this month and 12 distributors, and all she's doing is host to post. It is the freaking 17th and she has 82 enrollments, and that was at noon today. She probably has 85 by now. Like, that's insanity. So it's not, and that's going to bring me to my next point. So that's a great question. But wait, what was the original question? I just lost my train of thought. Oh Lord. I was going somewhere and then I went off wheels off.
I said, what were things you heard from other people that keeps them like?
Oh yeah. Okay. So everybody just said it's not about them anymore. Like Steph and Joel Dunn don't give a crap about what next, like they've already promoted to all the things, right? Like, and Rachel Jones, yes, she's pushing for presidential, but like, she's like, I want X number of new diamonds and X number of new triples and X number, like she wants to help people. And so when you get to that point in your business where you're like, I don't know what that next thing is for me. Maybe what's going to keep you motivated, helping other people. And we talked about this a little bit in our Ruby chat today. We've got a lot of yellows in there. And some people look at being a yellow as like something to maybe be discounted, because reds are normally the ones that are like, give me that microphone, let's go, let me turn this up for you. But yellows, you have a secret weapon because you care so much, and you will always have that little bit of motivation because you want to help people. You have a servant heart and you want to help people. So if you want to stay motivated in this business, figure out who you can help. and that will take you straight to the top. And I heard one of the new ambassadors, I cannot remember her name, Jenica maybe. I met 59 new friends this weekend, so I have no idea who half of their names are, but she was talking about like her ambassador, the like the month before it happened, she did not even realize how close she was because she was just focused on helping other people. She went to freaking ambassador without realizing it because she was just busy helping other people. She just wants to help other people. So the way that you stay motivated in this business is to just partner with new people and to bring new people into this business. I know that's something that you guys have heard before, but like just help new people pick new people every month to help them go to a place that they've never been before. And then what I was going to say, I've said it 10 times on this Zoom probably already. Oh, I'm sorry, I repeated myself. That was something else that was an aha moment for Alyssa. We felt like we kept having the same conversations, and we all quickly realized, I told her, I heard it on a Mayfield thing forever ago. I was like, leaders are just repeaters. Your goal is to just always have somebody new to tell it to. You're going to feel like you repeat yourself. How many times have I charted a Ruby? How many times have I explained what it means to be commission qualified? How many times have I explained what a 400 box is, or the difference between PBV and GV and whatever? 1,000, because I've been in this business for almost 4 years. But how many times has that new distributor heard it from you? This is their first time. Maybe if they're in the newbie chat, maybe it's their second or third. But I feel like I'm repeating myself, but my goal is to not fall on deaf ears. My goal is to be on new people's ears. And so that was Alyssa's aha moment, because she was trying to figure out like what her thing was in this business. I'm like, you have a thing. You're a really good duplicator, and you're really good at repeating yourself and teaching people how to do the things that we need to do, right? Like, you don't have to be a badass at Zooms or get up 50,000 host to post a day or whatever. Like, you just have to figure out how to repeat yourself and duplicate to other people. That's how you be successful in this business. So, so that being said, I repeated myself 48 times tonight. I'm real sorry about that, but we've got a new audience tonight. So some of you may have heard it last night, but a lot of you didn't, right? So, so that was really good. If you ever feel like, hey, I'm repeating myself, just make sure somebody new is hearing it. And then don't feel bad for repeating yourself, because you're just helping them learn. Trying to think if there was anything else. Do you have any other questions?
Well, so my last question is kind of just like a sub question of that one is, how did it expand your vision? That's my last question. I feel like that's a perfect way to end too.
It really did. Y'all know me, or most of you know me, and I'm not the quiet one in the group. But this weekend, I was the quiet one in the group. I sat back and I watched these people. I see some of you laughing because I'm definitely not the quiet one. They asked who wanted to talk into the mic and all that stuff. And Ashley, when we got back to the hotel room that night, she was like, I'm surprised you didn't grab the mic. And I was like, you know what? I'm learning right now. I'm listening and learn from the people that have gone before you and the people that are sitting at number 13. Like, I have, that was something that I sat back and listened to. And what I figured out was that vision doesn't have to be this crazy rank or dollar or whatever. And so my vision is to I'm trying to think how to word this. My vision is to have people with vision of their own on my team, to where if not that I have any intention of stepping away, but like you just said, Joel and Steph could step away tomorrow and their organization is still going to go. They're going to ride that residual, and they could make cajillions of dollars every single month because people below them have vision for themselves. As a red, I had this conversation a bunch this weekend too. As a red, reds and yellows, reds attract yellows and likewise, right? And so as a red, I attract a lot of yellows, and yellows have servant hearts. So they want to know what role they play on my team. And what I walked away with is I want to have people that have vision for themselves. I want to have people, I don't want Millicent to say, hey, I'm sorry for picking on you, Millicent. I love you, friend. You were killing it this month, and I'm super proud of you. You were so present in the chats, and you were doing all the things. I'm so proud of you, and you were right in the center of my screen. So sorry for picking on you. And you're a yellow, so it works. I don't want Millicent to say, hey, where do you need me for presidential? Or for her to look at Jamie and say, hey, where do you need me for double? I want Millicent to say, hey, I'm going for Ruby this month because this is what it means to my family. I want Brooke to have vision for her. I don't want Brooke to say, okay, I know you need me at diamond to maintain triple. Like, no, you didn't join this business to be a part of my chart. You joined this business for yourself. And I walked away wanting to do a better job of helping people create that vision for themselves. Whether it is, I want to make $100, I want to make $400 a month so that I can pay for my car note or whatever it is, right? Or I want to make diamond money so that I can buy a house for my kids. I want, whatever your vision is, I want to do a way better job of duplicating the vision creation. So that's really what I walked away, because that's where lives change. When you start showing up for yourself and you start having vision for yourself and for your team, then your life can truly change, and you can truly like take full advantage of everything that this company has to offer. So that's probably how I would answer that question.
Well, I think that's perfect. And I did, just so you know, I did watch the I was gonna say rerun. Like what am I like are you
Replay?
90 Stormy? Yeah,
Hashtag
I did
replay.
watch that, but I almost did rerun. I'm like, what am I saying? I did watch the replay, and I don't feel like you repeated yourself a lot. Like, yes, you said some of the same things, but I, just so you know, I took away just as much from this as I did from the replay of the Zoom that y'all did last.
Good.
So,
I have one last thing. Actually, it just came to me. I forgot about it earlier, and then you can totally cut me off because I know we're knocking on an hour. But something else that I had the conversation multiple times this weekend was, once you hit, and I'm just gonna say diamond, once you hit diamond, sometimes the next rank advancement or the next promotion or the next like step in your business is not a 30-day push. There were lots of new triples there that I had the opportunity. It was Jill Peterson and Ariane Whaley, I think is how you say. I think that's how you say her last name. Anyways, we were sitting, and Tiff Pfeiffer, she's a pres. We were sitting there talking about like our next goals and what we want next for our team and timelines and all of that fun stuff and the vision that we have for ourselves. And we were just brainstorming different ways to communicate that, like to our social media audience, to our friends and our followers and all of that fun stuff. And we kept coming back to the fact that like a push to pres is not a 30-day run. A push to triple from double is not really a 30-day run. And yes, of course it can be done. I'm not saying that it can't, because it definitely can. But like, if you are at diamond and you are looking to keep your business moving forward, it doesn't always look like throwing out, if you're diamond, I'm going to go double this month, because it may take you a 90-day push, and being okay with what that looks like and branding that journey. And so it kind of took a lot of pressure off of myself, because I know that when I went double 2 years ago, like immediately I was like, all right, we're going triple. Let's go. Here we go. And 2 years later, I went triple. Okay. So it's not an overnight thing, especially when you get up to those diamond, double diamond, triple diamond rank. Give yourself some grace, put some strategy behind it, figure out who you're going to bring with you, and brand it in a different way. Because like for me, I would love to go pres this summer, but in reality, we're looking at like the August timeframe. If I'm being realistic for my team and not pushing people in a crazy way and building in a way that's going to last, I'm like, I want to build to last. I want to build with people that want to be here instead of filling boxes and doing things. And that looks like more than 90 days. Okay. Because going from triple to pres is a big stinking deal. Going from diamond to double is a big stinking deal, right? So if you're at that place in your business where that next goal feels so far away, don't box it in with 30 days. Give yourself time, but put strategy to it, where you have the 3-month goal or the 6-month goal, and then back into it. If you have this 6-month goal, where do you need to be in 5 months? Where do you need to be in 4? Where do you need to be in 3? What does that translate to? What needs to happen today? How do you need to show up for your business today? Right. So that was the other major thing that I felt myself having that conversation again, because the red in me is like, we're triple, we're going pres. Here we go. Let's go. Like, and it doesn't look like that. And just being realistic and setting expectations for my team and setting a standard that we can rise to realistically. That was super important. So I wanted to share that also, because that's a huge deal. If you're a diamond right now and you're pushing double, it probably is going to take you more than 30 days. Especially if you are building with just a couple of people, right? Which sometimes that happens. That's the name of the game. So that was the last thing that I was like, you know what? I can give myself a little bit of grace, and we are going to do this the right way and take 4 months instead of trying to knock it out in 1 or 2. Anyway, so that was it.
That was perfect, because you guys, it's like you hit one promotion and then we're like, what's next? Like, we're just looking at a piece of paper, like a rank on a chart, and we're like, okay, now what? And that's just almost how our society is programmed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are always go, go, go. Like, what's next? What next? Like, it's hard for people to slow down, like, take time away from work and things and stuff like that, and be present in the moment. What I would say to that too is, if you're like, I didn't join to wait 6 years to go presidential or ambassador. It took me 5 years to go presidential. I'm like, I'm going to do math. 5 years to go presidential, you guys. And I mean, like, in the time leading up to it, I was making more than I was coaching, but like in 5 years, I coached for 10 years and I never, ever, ever got the raises that I've seen in this business ever, you guys. And so, like, even now it's like double, triple what I made teaching again. And I know some of y'all have heard me say that I could have won state meet every single freaking year, and they would have been like, great job, here's the trophy, like, we put you on the front page of the district. There would have been no raise with it. And I busted my butt, you guys, doing that. And I never got, like, my efforts weren't rewarded like they can be in this business. So even if you're like, well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years sounds good. Well, look at your job, what you're doing now. In 10 years, can you be looking at that kind of raise? And this is the last thing I'm going to say, but it touches on this, is my husband and I were talking today, and this is like, we were texting, and I was like, man, the girl raised my disc support prices. This is what started it. Cause you're probably like, why are you texting? You'll both work from home. But I was like telling him that my girl raised my disc support prices. That's what started the conversation anyways. And I was like joking. I was like, can we be rich now? Joking. And he said, he said, I'm trying, not as hard as you are, but I'm trying. He said, your earning potential versus mine doesn't compare. And you guys, my husband makes really good money. Like, he is a controller of a major company, or a company that owns 35 subsidiaries. Like, he makes really good corporate money, 6 figures, you know what I'm saying? And he is like, your earning potential versus mine's, for me, is like, it's not even the same. And like, reading that, I was like, wow, and I mean, and again, this is not somebody that just started in corporate America, you guys. Like, my husband has a master's. He's been, in corporate America for 10 years in oil and gas that pays well. That's the other thing, is he's in a really good paying industry. Like, and so it was just like, to me, I was reading that and I was like, wow, Like, sometimes those gut punches, they don't come when you're expecting them, and they don't come from the people you're expecting them, but that hit me pretty hard. So anyways, I just thought that was not planning on sharing that my disc support prices went up or my text message for my husband, but I thought that was a good, yeah, add on to what Jamie said. So thank you guys so much. We are at an hour and we always try to get off in an hour. And so Jamie, I appreciate you all the time, every day. But thank you so much for pouring into us tonight, because it was, it was great. It was amazing. It was exactly what I needed to hear. And I took a whole page. I took more notes than you did. Don't worry. I took your notes for you.
Good. Because I'm the person, I have to be in the moment and so present. And so I knew we were going to do these recaps and I was like, shoot, I did not take any notes. Like, it was a feeling. I'm there for a feeling. And I'm like that with my kids and I'm like that with my family. And I encourage y'all. That's something that I learned along the way. When you're present, whether it's with your team, with your kids, with your husband or spouse or whatever you're doing, be present and be there and enjoy that moment. And so a lot of the things that I did have that were aha moments for me, they were feelings, something that I couldn't write down on paper. And just hopefully you trust me enough to believe me that there is those beliefs that you do have. I felt that they were real this weekend. Like, I got to feel that firsthand. So it was a really, really cool experience. So thank y'all for letting me share.